Hello, this is Frances Thrash talking to you again. Today we're going to do a floral design called a line mass. It is a traditional design, meaning that it's not what we call creative, where you've got flowers that are upside down and using really tropical type things. Instead, these are garden type flowers, and the traditional line mass is going to be more vertical. It can be a crescent, it can be horizontal, it can be a diagonal, but I've chosen to do one that is vertical, making it a little easier on me with using this vase that I've chosen. This is a traditional vase, but it could be used for a more creative design as well. It's very interesting with the swirls of orange and yellow and green that are in it. I'm going to start with the sunflowers. They are my largest flower, and I think really pretty. I love how they're opening up. I love the black centers in these. It really makes them distinctive. So I'm going to just trim them just a little bit, and I trim them at an angle so that when they go in, one, it's easier to get it in. That point makes it a lot easier. And two, they drink up water well if ever it hits the bottom. So I've got 5 here to put in, and I don't have a lot of oases to put this in. And when we do traditional designs, typically we use odd numbers of flowers, and 5 is perfect for that. So I'm trimming and sticking them in. Now, when some of them are a little bit closed, you'll see me doing this, and I'll be turning it around so you can see better in just a moment once I get these all in. But I want them to be nice and open. Okay, there's 4. And you will see that the oasis is up a little bit above the top of the container. That's so that I can put things in at the side. And people laugh at me when they're watching me do this because I tend to grit my teeth, sorry. But do you see how they're here, 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 okay? All right, back around, and whoops, tablecloth's going with me. I'm going to put in liatris. Now I've already stripped off all the leaves that would be down inside the container. This is my actual line, but here, okay, and again I'm trimming them at that angle. And another thing about this, a lot of times when I'm doing floral design, I use the greenery first, but because I have such little oasis to work with, I did not want to take up space with the greenery. So I'm doing all the flowers, or most of the flowers, first, and then I will come back and put in a little bit of greenery. Now, what I don't want to do is I don't want to do 180, which is what these are back here. These are masses. This has got to be more closed form. We don't want it to be really wide. I want to keep it in that line form. Now I'm going to stop with that for right now and turn it around again so you can see. Okay, so now we have liatris in it to give us the lines that we're looking for. All right, so back around. All right, and I'm going to put in what we jokingly call as billy balls. These, I think, are so cute. Asclepia are really interesting little, it's not Asclepia, I'm sorry, it's Craspedia. Find the right word here. But I want to do a line of them down through the middle to give me a little contrast in shape and form. So down through the middle, and I don't want them dotted everywhere, just all together, kind of down the middle, keeping them fairly in a line. But through the whole thing, I love these because, like I said, they give me a difference in texture. They give me a difference in form and make it more interesting. People always are, what are those? Where did you get those? Whenever I use them. And another thing wonderful about them, Crispedia, is that they dry and look exactly like they do right now. So with the Crispedia, do you see how it comes down through here? Now I've got a little bit out of my line, but that's okay. I don't have to keep them all in a straight line. Now I'm going to turn it back around so I can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to put in a little bit of greenery. This is leatherleaf fern, or baker fern we tend to call it. And I don't need a lot, I just need a little bit. So here, whoop, that one's broken. All right, a little bit here, a little bit here, okay. And a tiny bit more on the front. Okay, now I have aspidistra that I'm going to put in. These leaves are hard as leather. They are incredible and actually will grow in our area outside. I didn't turn this around, so let me turn this around again. Now one thing I have to do is I have to cover up this back. So I'm going to use some of this baker, and while I've got it facing you, I'm going to cover up this back. I don't need the oasis showing to everyone. So just a little here and there. Don't want a whole lot. Okay, successful. Got it all covered up. So I'm going to turn this back around. Now, the aspidistra, I'm going to put in here, into the middle. Okay, one there. One down through here. Okay, sometimes I just want to have it there but not have it showing so much. And then I'm going to use a couple that I've curled. And I always get lots of questions about how do you curl them? How does that work? Well, this has got a piece of wire in it. And I'll show you what I've done. Piece of wire, you may not can see it, but here's the leaf. Okay, so then I'm going to curl it around, take the piece of wire, stick it through, and voila, I have a curl. And I'm going to stick this one in the front here. And I have a second one that I'm going to stick with it. Okay. So with the aspidistra in it, do you see how that emphasizes my line and brings it down even more to the front, which is what I want. Now, I do have some little mums. These are called Viking Mums, and they're not essential, but I like them, and I think they look like mini sunflowers. They're so cute. So just a few of those to fill in just a little here and there. Almost done. Maybe one here in the middle. Okay, I'm going to say done. I hope you learned how to do a line mass. This is not hard. You do not have to use as many flowers as I did. You can use less. And maybe you would like to have just the sunflowers and just some line materials. This happens to be all fresh, but you could certainly do it with dried materials as well. I want to definitely keep all this greenery small so that it doesn't make it look more like a mass. But thank you very much. I hope you learned a lot. If you want to do a line mass, you certainly can do it with dried materials as well as fresh, or all dried if you wanted to do that. Do not have to use as many flowers as I did, but that's a personal choice. Thank you very much.